Hey guys, so I'm back again for the second video on the same day. Wouldn't you believe it? And this is the second video of a series of two videos, two main videos I'll be doing on my fears and how I'm looking to overcome them as I walk with God. And yeah, so in the last video I talked about how um, my big fear is a fear of rejection, and how that is a fear of being rejected because of because of being judged in three main ways. Um, for being judged as being weak or unmasculine, fear of being judged as like socially inept or unenjoyable or boring or socially incapable. And the third one was the fear of being judged as like a morally bad person. And so as I was thinking through these, I was digging into them and yeah, like praying a little bit and things and trying to figure out like where the root of these fears were, and what the solutions were um, to these fears. And so from what I've been able to gather, I think that there is like two main categories of solutions here. The first being um, statements to affirm, could also be called like belief therapy. And the second group being like journeys to go on, or exposure therapy. And so we'll start with the statements to affirm that I believe are important for me getting over certain fears. So, what I think is I've been believing lies, and that's led to these fears. Um, and so, if I can believe truths in place of those lies, then those fears will be greatly reduced. Um, and so I'll just go through in the order that I've written them down. So, for just the general fact that I have a fear of rejection, I think a statement for me to affirm is that people do not define my value as a person, not even myself. Because I believe, so what's important is this next point, because I was talking about how I have this desire for like a solid self-esteem, which I think everyone desires. And the statement for me to affirm here is that everyone is deeply valuable, because God loves and values us despite our deep flaws. Um, so, if I know that God sees me as valuable, I don't need to let other people determine my value, because no matter what they think, no matter what I think, God says that I am valuable, which I think is the most important thing. What does it matter what people say if the God of the universe says something positive about me? In terms of, yes, I've this fear of rejection about being judged as being irredeemable. That was an aspect of it. Irredeemable in those three ways I talked about. And an important statement for me to affirm here is that there is no aspect actually of my personhood that is irredeemable. God has forgiven my sins through Jesus and has given me the capacity for personal growth, just as part of being a human. And so, okay, maybe I have a fear of blood. I have some struggles socially. I have some moral failures, as everyone does. But I'm not irredeemable in these ways, and I can grow. In terms of my fear of being judged as unmasculine, actually, or weak, there's a statement I can say, as a man, it's okay to be fearful or overwhelmed. It's okay. Another one, my fears don't define my value as a man. It's how I respond to those fears that is important. In regards to my fear of being socially inept or unenjoyable, my neurodiversity doesn't mean that I cannot connect with people, even though it means that I may connect differently. And in terms of my fear of being judged as morally bad, I am not condemned for my moral flaws because of the gift of forgiveness I have through Jesus Christ. And so if other people are going to condemn me for moral failings, actually God says otherwise. And the anger that they show me is not the ultimate authority on the issue. Yes, I still have a responsibility to reconcile with them, but that's not the most important thing going on there. It's not the fundamental thing about how good or bad I am. It's about what God says. And so there's a few journeys I have. So those are I think that's probably the biggest group there, is the statements for me to believe and affirm, which kind of makes it easy in a way, that I just have to believe things. The second category is more difficult. These are journeys to go on. So for blood, I need to be willing to face up to injuries where there is a lot of blood, and not run away, and be okay with fainting sometimes if that's necessary. With feeling socially inept or incapable or whatever, unenjoyable. There is a journey for me to go on to become a better conversationalist, to learn how to connect better with people. I can't, there is some of it that is my fault and that I can push through and grow out of. In terms of being this fear of being judged, of being weak or something, I can go on a journey of allowing myself to be more vulnerable with people, and so I won't fear that sort of weakness so much, as I see that it's okay. And in terms of this fear of rejection overall, bring it back to the macro view, I think this journey that I'm still going on is becoming more grounded in God's love for me. As it says in 1 John 4 verse 18. Got my Bible here. I'll read the verse. It says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love." And so that's a verse that I hold on to as I go about trying to get through these fears, overcome these fears. God's love for me is a reality, and that is something that, even though I don't fully understand, don't fully experience, I can know that it's there. And so that knowing God's love for me more, not that God's love for me is growing more, but my knowledge of it is growing more, I will be more grounded in it and more grounded as a person, and that fear will be overcome. So that's all I have to say. I imagine I'll do future videos on how I do with getting through these fears, and this big fear of rejection in general. But until now, that is me signing off about fear. And I hope that you can go on a journey with me as well on overcoming fears in your life, because I don't think I'm the only one with them. God bless you guys on your journeys as well. Love you, and see you next time.